All right, good morning and welcome to the Wallet to Wealth Female Interview Series. In support of Halton Women's Place, From Wallet to Wealth is a brand created to speak to women to help mentor, educate, and inspire ladies to living and leading empowered lives. We've raised over $47,000. Just want to hold up the bracelet here. We didn't raise 47,000 from the bracelet, but for those of you who have been ordering the bracelet, the proceeds go to Halton Women's Place. So thank you very much. Keep your orders coming in. And so the 47,000 we raised last year and the year before at our annual gala speakers. And we've also hosted several events to help ladies build their businesses. This year, we have created our power introductions and we freed ourselves from subconscious money sabotage. Our next event will be announced soon, so stay tuned. So join our squad. We're all about success and breaking barriers. Not only do we help women win, we shine a spotlight every Monday on a female entrepreneur to help her own her future. So today our guest is a radiant woman, really a superwoman in all that she has accomplished and how she overcame all sorts of adversity to building a business where she can help women accomplish their dreams in their careers. Please help me welcome Vivian Singh from Haute Image Consulting. Welcome.
Thank you. Such a lovely introduction. Thank you so much. I do feel like a superwoman now.
You are. I mean, it's amazing what you've done. So I won't jump in and kill the story, but I definitely will fill in if you don't tell everybody. I'm just trying to pick us up here in our feed. So happy to have you. I just want to first of all just say that Vivian and I met through Busy Women, the entrepreneur group, which is a fabulous group. There's over 6,500 ladies on that group. And we were doing a matrix in the morning, Monday mornings at 9 a.m. Absolutely love that group. So if anybody wants to know about that, we can fill you in for details. So that's a great group to be in. So I was so happy to always see you there. And what I noticed about you was that you always stood out. Like you show up, and in business, it's really important to walk the walk of what our product is, what our service is. And you have that. So you caught my attention right away. So I'm just so happy to have you here. So I'm gonna go through a few questions. The first one is, recently we've been talking about intergenerational trauma and messages that we receive from society that actually create limiting beliefs inside of us. And just want to see if you could share how that has been for you in your life.
Well, thanks, Whitney. And I mean, I have to say it was really a pleasure meeting you too. And it's just getting to know you over the last little while has been awesome. You're a very inspirational woman, and I really admire all the things that you do for so many women, not only Halton's Women's Place, but business women and just promoting women in general. So I'm really happy to be a part of this today.
Awesome.
So to answer your question, I'm thinking we all carry pain from our childhood, whether it's emotional pain, spiritual suffering, all learned throughout our childhood. Yes. And these pains, they can manifest in a variety of ways and at different stages of our lives. So, what happens when I'm 4 or 5 or 8 or 9 can come back when I'm 50 or 60 to haunt me. So, we might think that we're getting rid of these things sometimes, but we basically are. I have learned that I have to learn ways of handling those challenges when they come my way. And it all goes back to our mother, unfortunately. Yes. And so your daughters will be, and children will be looking at you and pointing fingers at you. That just happens from generation to generation. And I've always loved my mother and had great respect for her. But there were often times when, she would say things that I think, where did that come from? And those things just sort of sit inside of you,
Yeah.
and they sort of infest your soul and affect the way you behave later. For example, a simple thing like this: my family was born in Guyana, and in the 60s we immigrated from Guyana
I
to
love people from Guyana. I never knew that. Oh, I just you. Sorry to interrupt, but you seriously are the best people. So.
Oh, thank you. We think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, we immigrated to London, England, and it was hard settling in, of course, with 6 children in tow. But they did, and after a few years, my mom started to be able to buy things again and do things as special. So she bought this knitting machine, an electric knitting machine, because she was excited. She thought, oh, we can knit things and save money and whatever, right? So she brought it home, and I was excited about it. And I said, oh, this is so good. She says, oh, yeah, I booked you in for some lessons so that you can start knitting. And I go, oh, okay, nice. I love that kind of thing, Okay, fine. So anyway, I did my lessons, and one day I came home and I had brought the latest pattern book with me. So we were sitting there looking through this pattern book, and there was this pattern for a bridal dress knitted. And I kind of went, wow, that's beautiful. Imagine that, And she just looked at me. I was like 16 at the time. She looked at me and she tore a strip off me and said, is that what you're thinking about? You're thinking about men? And no, mommy, I was not. It's like, and you don't argue too much with her at that time. But it's that kind of thing. It's like, was I? No, no. And then it stays in your brain and it ferments, and it kind of affects the way you think about other things. And that in itself, it kept me back from expressing myself the way I wanted to. It took years and years of different things, different courses and programs and reading and stuff like that, for me to actually get rid of that. And I still haven't gotten rid of it. You never really get rid of it 100%. But as I said at the beginning, you learn how to deal with them. So, that's where I'm coming from with adversity, the guilt that we have inside of us that manifests itself in so many different ways. It affects our relationships. It affects, the way we do our business. It affects a lot of things. And we have to be very conscious of that and make sure we know how to deal with that sort of thing.
It's amazing because the simplest comments, can stick with you for forever. Like I know now that you bring that up, I remember my mom, all sorts of things, but one thing that really stands out when I was, the most awkwardest age is when you're 13, you're changing, you're getting taller and all of those things. And I was just horribly skinny when I was growing up. And I continued to be skinny. So it was I was so self-conscious about that. And my mom, when she was taking me shopping at Square One, I grew up in Port Credit, and just standing in front of the mirror, trying on clothes. And, she was so frustrated with me because I was so skinny. And that those words bit into me, and I still hear them today. And, she'll still comment on my weight. And the thing is, I came to realize that it was about her. Yeah. It was about her. It wasn't about me, because she had her own, issues with being too thin. So, but anyhow, so those messages are really, we have to be so careful what we say.
We do. And I mean, even though I know bringing up my own children, you try not to make the same mistakes, but you don't realize that it's a mistake until, something comes up and you start delving into yourself to find, where that's coming from. And then it was like I was in my 40s before I realized that, I was raising my children with guilt trips. And, and I didn't realize that I was doing that. And it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible feeling inside of you when you think, what have I done? I wish I could do that over,
Yeah.
but fortunately they're all okay.
Yeah.
Think.
And then so it's interesting how you raise your children, because you were married young, and then so you've had some adversity, and then you've married young, and then you decided to get, you went right through to a master's degree while you were having babies.
Yes, actually. Well, I won't go into the story of how I met my husband and all that, but I had met him when I was 18 and got married when I was 20. I turned 22 days before we got married. And, we planned to, spend a couple of years just enjoying life and working and whatever. And lo and behold, 9 months and 14 days later, I had my first baby. So he was not planned, but I said to him, you were the best mistake I ever made.
Uh,
And he, so we had our first baby, and then we had a second one 2.5 years later, because I decided that time I would just stay at home and look after the kids. He went out to work, and that's the way it went. But then, he was teaching at Humber College, and he had colleagues, and his colleagues' wives had their degrees, and we used to hang around together. And here I am, no degree, just this little high school girl, and it wasn't good enough for me. I didn't feel good about it. So I always knew I was going to do something with my life.
Yeah.
And before I did that, I taught myself, well, I took a yoga course. I opened up my own yoga classes in Burlington. We lived in Burlington at the time. I did a flower arranging course, and I taught myself macrame. I used to make all those macrame hangers in the 80s and sell them to a little flower shop on Plains Road. I don't even know if they're still there.
Oh, neat.
Anyway, and then I decided, but I've got to do something better with my life. So once my kids were in school a bit more, I started doing evening classes at McMaster University. So I do 2 classes every semester. And because my husband was home in the summer, I could actually do a 6-week summer course, because he would look after the kids, and then I could go off to school during the day and do. So I did, like 4 courses out of 5 for a full year. And then when my daughter was finally in school full time, I decided I was going to go to school full time. So that first year, a full course was 30 credits. And that first year, I ended up doing 36 credits with 2 kids at home.
So you're like an overachiever.
And I figured, I'm catching up. I don't want to be lagging behind. I don't want this to drag on. That's me. I just want to catch up and do it. So I went ahead. I did a 4-year program in 4 years. And then I went on to do my master's, and then my teacher's certificate, teacher's training. But just before I started my teacher's training, my husband he always wanted to have more kids. I wanted 6 when we first got married. And after I had the first 2, I said, no way, that's enough. And so then he really wanted another 2. And I said, okay, if you're going to have kids, I have to do it before I start teaching. We have 1 year to have a child, because once I start teaching, I don't want to take time off.
Yeah.
So I got pregnant right away, and the baby was born, and it's actually his birthday today.
Oh, how old is he?
38 years old today.
38.
Yeah, my husband's having breakfast with him right now on Zoom.
Oh, so you really catapulted ahead though. So I mean, you did your master's, and then you went all the way through teaching right to becoming a principal.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I mean, I was very fortunate that people saw my leadership skills and my ability, and always sort of encouraged me to go on and do things. And so it was, I was only in my 3rd year of teaching when my vice principal came up to me and said, you need to apply for a position as a resource teacher, where I would go out and teach other teachers how to, teach in the classroom and supply resources to them. And I looked at her and said, I've only been teaching for 3 years. I can't do that. You know, I had no confidence in myself, right? And I said no. And I gave myself a plan. I said, okay, I want 10 years of experience under me, under my belt. And once I've done that, then I can start looking at an administrative position. There's no rush for me to get there. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And that's just the way it happened, you know. So I had the support and I went through for the role of vice principal and got through with that. But you know, Whitney, the one thing I always go back to is your work ethic, and what you do follows you. So if you work hard and you are good at what you do, and you're respectful to others, and you know you do a good job of what you've set out to do, you will always be supported. So even though there were, you know, some teachers in who, when once I got promoted, it was actually the time when there was a focus on promoting more people of visual minority.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was actually the first woman of color to be promoted to an administrative position in Peel. And so, you know, this one woman, blonde, blue eyes, bun on the top of her head, teacher, you know, the typical school teacher, she was so envious. And it was like, oh, well, you know, they had to promote her because, you know, that's just the way things are right now. And she was the queen bee in the school. So, you know, it got back to me what she was saying and all that. But people try to knock you down. And it's, you know, fortunately, if you develop good relationships, then you always have somebody there to keep you up and, you know, keep that wind under your wings and
Yeah,
keep
isn't that the truth though? There are others that will try to hold you back. Instead of being your cheerleader and rallying you to
right.
reach your goals, they
Yeah.
have to poke holes in you. That's
Yeah,
debilitating.
it is. And I mean,
Yeah.
it can go to such extents that actually I had one situation, um, you know, which really changed my life. And I was a principal at that time. And something happened. I won't go into the details. Something happened at the school, which really pushed me over the edge. And I actually had to take time off work. I was off, I think, at the beginning of April, about 15 years ago, 2006, I think it was. And I was just a basket case. And fortunately, because again of the person I was, I had people in the higher administrative positions within the board who supported me and gave me advice of what I should do and how I should handle things. So, you know, I didn't intend to take 3 months off, but I ended up getting off in sometime in April, I think it was. Didn't go back for the rest of the school year. And then, of course, I had the summer. So I had a chance to do an 8-day residential program, which somebody had mentioned to me, excuse me, and I thought, this is the perfect time to do it. So in that program, I was able to really go back to my 12-year-old self and delve deep into what was causing me to react this way and all of that. So and that's where I became more aware of that self-love and self-awareness, self-acceptance, and building up my self-esteem. And I went back in September to that school with such confidence that they were all looking at me like, oh, that's not the same person that left the school. And so it was a really good thing for me to do. So from adversity, excuse me, sometimes can come
Some advantage.
advantage. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So you became aligned. So through that difficult. So
Exactly.
for people who are watching, it's really important to know that there are things in our lives that will feel like they're debilitating at that time. And
Yeah.
Vivian, what I liked what you did was you stepped back and you said, okay, I'm going to step back. but I'm going to go and invest in myself. Okay.
Right.
Instead of pointing at the other person, I'm going to take you down. I'm going to invest in myself and, you know, build a stronger muscle so that I can come back in alignment. And
Exactly.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
this is what you, so tell us about your life now in alignment, because you then carried on.
Yeah.
You
So I actually, well, I retired,
yeah,
excuse me, 11, 12 years ago in 2000. No, it's going to be 13 years this year, 2008. And because my husband had already retired, and I thought, you know, my parents died when they were young, and they didn't get a chance to really enjoy life. So I'm not going to let that happen to us.
yeah.
So I retired, and after a year, it's like, what am I going to do? I was bored. I'm just used to being so busy, right? So through a series of events, I kind of fell into this idea of image consulting. I had no idea what it was all about, but I thought I would just, you know, dip my toes into the water a little bit. And I took a couple of courses at George Brown College. And I thought, oh, I like this. You know, I'm going to go full steam ahead and do a proper course. And a training course came up in Toronto right when I was looking. And I thought, okay, I'm going to invest in this. And 3 weeks later, I graduated as an image consultant with advanced training.
Love
So
it.
I've been doing that for the last 10, this is my 11th year, and absolutely loving it. When I started, it was only to, you know, have fun, have a little, some extra pocket money so that when we go traveling, we can do whatever we want, or I could buy something without dipping into the savings we had or whatever, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I never marketed myself. I never advertised. I just basically had some cards printed, did some packages that I sent out to people, I think at the beginning, but that was it. And I would get clients just from referrals, and, you know, people, I left a few cards in salons sometimes, and I got a few clients from them, and then they would refer other people, and that was it. Then I went
Did you have your picture on your business card?
no,
Okay.
no, but that picture, I don't think oh, maybe I have one here. Oh yes, I do. That's what I was like then.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
What a difference, eh?
Yeah, that was my long hair, all colored. Now I'm all natural.
Which is
So
not a bad way to go. I mean, your hair color is awesome. People
thank you.
pay to have your hair. You just get it for free.
Yeah, yeah.
You've
Thank you.
got the true COVID haircut. We were talking about how short your hair was when we met 4 months ago online.
Yeah, yeah. And this is
And
yeah, and this is actually a 4 month ago haircut. So I just feel like it's just so long. I'm used to having it very short, and you know, but anyway, what can you do?
yeah. So, okay. So I love this. So you've aligned yourself, and I also just want to reiterate that one of the comments that you made is that you didn't really have to go out and advertise yourself. And I think that's because when people are integrated and you're walking the walk, you're talking the talk. I mean, I look at you and she says, I'm an image consultant. And I'm automatically, I say, you know what? This woman can help me. Like, you don't have to attack me. You already know that, you know, Whitney Hammond could use a little bit of help. We all know that because I'm totally natural 100%, and which is fine, but I, you know, probably could use some help. So the thing is that because I think it's because you walk the walk. And so, and you're aligned with what you do. So this is really good. So tell us about your services.
Well, you know, you mentioned that you're very natural, and you know you know, you need some help or whatever. Well, I don't look at it that way. This is one of the important parts of, you know, anybody I work with. You have to go through certain things with me before I'll take you shopping or get into your closet. You've got to have your color done so that I know what colors look best on you,
Okay.
and you've got to have your style, your personality style done. So you are a natural, down to earth, sporty, fun loving person. I'm not going to put you in pearls and diamonds, and and I'm not going to dress you up. I know already, you told me you hate jewelry.
But I like yours. Like, that's the thing. I love everybody's jewelry. I do.
Exactly. That's exactly my point.
I don't think I look good in it.
But that's it. But here's the thing, because some people say to me when we go through that, it's like, oh, I know I can't wear that. And I said, well, let's just try it on, see how you like it. And they're, oh my gosh, I really like it. And it's amazing because I find things in their closet as well, that when I put them together with different things and with different accessories, they are totally in awe of what they have in their closet. And so it's not just going out and buying a whole new wardrobe. It's, let's work with what you have here first. And then if there are pieces missing, we make a list and then we'll go shopping. So it's about building your image, building to suit your lifestyle, to suit your career, to suit whatever it is. So you can actually go out when you're done here, when we're done with my job. You can go into your closet, you can look at it and pick anything out and put it on, because you've been taught how to combine things, how to accessorize, and how to dress for certain occasions. And it all depends on the services that you buy as to how deeply we'll go with all of these. So, there are a whole bunch of different services. I don't like to say I've got packages. I have some, but I'm trying to get away from that now that I'm actually marketing myself more. I'm actually creating a community page on Facebook, which is going to be coming up in April. So I'm developing, different things and bonuses and stuff like that I'm going to come up with, because for some reason, Whitney, I just want to get into this now. I think it's when I hit 70, I kind of thought, I don't know how much longer I have, but I want to do something. And I'm working with this last year with COVID, I have met so many amazing women online, all successful women.
Yeah.
Everyone success in different ways, in different avenues of life. And I think I was just inspired so much by all of these women and how well they're doing and how much they're enjoying life.
Yes.
And I thought, I just want to do this. And my husband kind of looks at me and sort of rolls his eyes, we can still travel. It's okay.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that, because it is true with women as we're busy to begin with. And then, yes, women are becoming very successful. So it's our time. We've raised our children. And the whole thing about shopping and accessorizing, and we don't really have the time. So I think, because there's other women, business women that are clients of mine, and that they tell me what their secret is, because they don't have time to shop like I don't have it either. So, but I love the idea of like somebody coming in, and I mean, if you saw my closet, you'd be like, holy, I've got the closet, like I really do. And it's loaded, absolutely loaded. And I go in there and it's like, damn, I gotta go and order some more clothes. I'm tired of this stuff.
Well,
there's stuff buried in there that
it sounds to me like you need a closet edit.
A closet which?
Edit.
Oh yeah. And you know what? I have to tell you, like, I just built this closet 3 years ago. So I'm not talking about clothes that have been lying around for 100 years, because when I put everything in that closet, let me tell you, more than half of my clothes went out to the bins, and I threw away some pretty awesome stuff. Yeah. So, okay. So when you shop, we'll have to wrap up soon, but so do you take the person with you shopping, or do they have a choice of people that say, I don't want to shop, you shop for me?
It depends on the person. But what I do when I go shopping is that if the person's going to come shopping with me, I pre-shop, because we have a list of things that we're going to get. So I go ahead, I pre-shop, I ask them to hold these items for me, so they've got a rack ready. So when I go in with you the next day, we just go to the fitting room and we try things on, and you see what you like, what works, what doesn't work. And in doing that, I'm also saying, well, why doesn't this work? Do you understand? Why does this one work? So they are learning as they're shopping with me, why they should wear something or why they should avoid something. And I mean, we go through all of that before, because I have a whole computerized program and a book as well that they get that shows them all the, from your neckline to your collars, your sleeves, all the different things that suit your body type, because we all have different body types. Some are triangle, figure eight, rectangle, all different shapes and sizes and textures in our skin, things that people don't even think of sometimes. That's why, sometimes you go shopping and you put something on and the salesperson says, oh my God, that looks fabulous. And you look in the mirror and you feel fabulous. And you go home and you put it on and you go like, oh, no, it doesn't look good today. I'll wear something else. And that's because they haven't looked at the finish of the fabric maybe, or the neckline, or the cut of this, how it falls on your body, that sort of thing. So the fabric, the drape, all of those things those are the things that an image consultant will take into consideration before we actually get you dressed.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and then the other way I do it as well. So if you don't want to go shopping with me, I will gather a whole bunch of things. I put them on my card and I just bring them to you. We try them on and then we take it from there. I do online shopping as well, and I get them to come deliver to me, and I'll do the same thing with my clients.
So you've found easy. So you've already found different stores and different designers who you like to work with.
Yeah. Yes. And it depends on your budget. If you have a small budget or a large budget, or you have an open budget, it just depends. I have one client who, she loves Versace and Gucci and all those guys. And so I don't have a budget with her. I just go shopping and she said, yeah. So she'll drop 5,000-6,000 in one shot. Which is, it's great, because that's who she is. And so it just depends on your budget, because I'm working with somebody right now, and she is in her 40s, and she came to me because she said, Vivian, I want to get back my fun self. I want to get my mojo back. I just feel so frumpy. And this is where women in their 40s, I don't know, 40 is some that magic number or something, where it's like, well, I can't dress like a teenager, but I don't want to dress like my mom, and I'm kind of stuck here. I don't know what to do. And like, why don't you? I was in this closet a couple of weeks ago. I shouldn't have been there. And she had this gorgeous dress, which was sort of like crisscross. It was black, it was fitted. And in between the crisscross, there were diamonds, and they were all like transparent pieces. So you could see your skin through it, and it's all black. And she said, I said, oh, this is gorgeous. She says, but I can't wear that, can I? I said, why not? She says, well, my mom said I shouldn't because of my age. And I'm going, hey, I'm 71. I would totally wear that dress. I would totally wear it. So age has nothing to do with it. It's your frame of mind. Can you pull it off? Is it your personality style? Or are you wearing something? My sister's favorite term is, are you mutton dressed as lamb?
Are you a mutt?
Are you mutton?
Yes.
Dressed as lamb.
Oh.
You see that a lot in Florida sometimes.
One of the common questions I think would be is dressing. So I know that we've been out of travel for 1 year, but pretty soon we'll be going into travel. So what about buying like some nice travel dresses that you can then, slip, like, so I'm not talking about cheap ones, nice travel dresses that you can slip really nice jackets on when you're back at home working. So you've got that versatility. So for me, for example, I travel because I'm a pilot, I'm traveling every month, right? And I really need to be able to load that bag really fast and then unload it, because when I travel, I'll go to 4 places. Right. And then, to be able to have that versatility and then be able to bring that back into the closet and then, throw on a nice jacket to, so I can still wear the clothes.
Right, absolutely. And
double down.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things I do is, we work with modules. So a module or a capsule is, you buy, let's say, for example, a pair of pants and a skirt and a jacket. So those all have to be coordinated somehow or the other. They're let's say they're neutrals. So for you, it might be a nice navy. And so we got navy skirt, navy pants, and navy jacket. And then for each of the bottoms, I would get 3 tops. So you are, from the top, you look different every day. So you've got 6 outfits right there. If you put your jacket on, you've got more than 6, you've got 9 outfits. Out of those pieces, and you can add a dress to that, you can create about 20 outfits.
I like this. So you end up saving money.
Absolutely.
Because I think we waste. I buy the suit, right? So I don't have the ability to mix and match. But I'd have to have it number coordinated.
No, you
wear one with number 5 and 6 with 8, and I'd get that. But if you'd ask me to put the pink with the purple, it's not going to happen.
No. But that's what you start with, and then you build on it, because then, okay, let's take that navy, let's get a cream outfit now. Now I can put that cream jacket with the navy pants.
Yes.
You see? Or
okay.
I can just mix and match and do a whole bunch of different things. And that's, the very most basic thing to do, but that can be boring.
This is great. So I have 2 questions, and we're gonna have to wrap up. So so you say before we become a client, we do a color, and then we do a personal. We get our color done, and we get our personal style done. Do you do this? Do you have the test for us?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because what I'm thinking is I think we should do a workshop. So we'll talk offline, but I think it would be great to do a wallet to wealth workshop so that we can introduce you to a smaller group of maybe 40 women where we can hear, and then you can show us some things, and because we're going to be getting back to work and out and about. I think it's time that we refresh our closets. We go out and spend a little bit of money on ourselves, because we've been stuck, and I think we're doing a lot of household renovations and stuff like that, and it's time to get some fresh stuff. So I would be really interested in hosting you to do that.
That's awesome. That would be awesome, really.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if anybody wants to get in touch with me, they could email me at I don't think I can.
We'll put it below here. So as soon as this clips off, just go in, because there's a lot of comments in there. So you can go in and put your contact info. Okay. And I've also tagged you so people can send you private message. And they can also ask me where to find you too. But I think you've got a fabulous service. And I love that you're doing it in your retirement, because it's your passion, it's your gift, it's your kindness. And there isn't that feeling of sometimes we don't want to be pushed. So that's what I really, like I said, when I first met you there on in the Matrix, I thought, here's a woman that has just such a nice offering, and you're not trying to hammer it out. You're attracting people to you. So
thank you. Really
you're welcome. Thank you for being that way. It makes it. Pleasure. Yeah. Okay. Well, Thank you, Vivian. Did you want to just sign off with something?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to you, first of all, for hosting this, and I'm looking forward to that workshop. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm actually, as I said, developing a Facebook community page. So I'm hoping that a lot of you will join that page, and it's going to be asking questions about style. I can do little, videos and things like that. That's the whole idea behind it. So it's going to be really a wonderful thing. If anybody wants an ebook that I have access to, I didn't write it, but it's one of my suppliers that does this. You can email me. It's called Timeless Style. It's a 30-page ebook. And I'm happy to send that to you. So just email me, and I will get it to you.
And you're Vivian at
Haute Image Consulting.com.
Okay, and we'll put, when we're done, you put that in the
Yeah, I'll do
in the
that.
comments. Okay, okay. Well, thank you so much. We definitely went over time, but you had a lot to share, a lot of fabulous information. And just to wrap it up, I mean, here's a woman that's, you know, she's an overachiever. She started out, she's going to be a mom, and had that feeling of just being a mom, and that's, it's, I mean, being a mom, honest to God, it's the most important up on the planet. But for some reason, we ladies, we don't feel like it's enough, and we have more to give. And so that career that you had in teaching and being a principal, I mean, that's probably the second most important job in the world. And now you've got the third most, because you have to make us all look and feel good. So
Fabulous.
I think you can do that. Okay, so thank you so much, and we'll see everybody next Monday at 10 o'clock.
Pleasure. Bye. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.